Welcome back to another edition of the Justin Time Podcast. I'm your host, Justin, and with me, as always, is my guest, Will.
Brother, how you
How's it
doing?
going? I'm doing good.
You too.
There's some certain group of people that we're about to talk about that need to get it together,
Yeah.
but I'd be a lot better if they got it together too.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I decided to wear this shirt, the powerhouse, because, it's a reminder to what we are, what the standard is, the powerhouse.
Yeah,
So, first of all, it's my first time wearing it for one. Shout out to Alumni Hall.
yeah,
So just, thanks for my brother for putting me on.
no problem,
Alumni
man.
Hall, Alumni Hall, you listening? This is the podcast you need to put into. Shameless
We
plug.
got they claim we're the powerhouse. We're playing like the light bulb right now.
And don't tell me about no energy efficient. I want all the energy.
No, they're not energy efficient either. Some of them come out. Some of them are just flat out, that we just need to do better. Overall, I need to
course.
do better.
That's right.
I'm pulling up the team stats, but I got a few things written down right here.
Let's hear it.
So for pitching, spoiler alert, I don't have a powerhouse pole pitcher this week. Matter of fact, I'm going to give Stanfield whatever points he comes in on my polls this week, he gets that number he gets my pitcher's points added to his stuff from whatever. If he's in second place, he gets the second place spot for pitchers. He gets their points. But, I looked it up yesterday while I was making notes, and we still need to get better. Those transfers that in Dardar, Caraway, and York, who was supposed to be these, not Caraway. Caraway didn't turn it on, but he came up and they said he was doing a lot better at the plate.
Mm-hmm.
They need to step it up. Dardar came out like a man on fire at the beginning of the year. He needs to be our DH. York was supposed to be this home run hitting machine, which I dug a little into his stats. He didn't really hit many at Grand Canyon when he was there.
What was the total?
I think his total was 33 in his 2 years there. But we have a team batting average of 288, which
that was higher than I expected.
Our team batting average before that, though, was in the high 300s, but has drastically dipped going into last weekend. And our losing stretch, our team batting average, I think, has been, they put up on the thing 206. It's got higher than the hundreds, but it's just 206. But, pitching, which we thought was going to be our bright spot.
Yeah.
93 walks in 28 games. Yeah. That cannot happen. Looking back at the weekend, we had 22 walks in the first two games. And those 22 walks are the reason we lost the first game. They reel that in, and Evans doesn't throw. I think his numbers on the weekend, let me look. I'll pull it up. Give me 1 second. I'm dogging on him, so I want to get it right when I dog on him. Okay. Pitching. Evans, 5 walks. 6 because he hit a batter. And I am 90% sure if I go look at this, he had he didn't have a clean first inning. He only gave up 2 in the first, a walk, a strikeout, a walk, and then a walk, and then a 2-out single or a 1-out single. Now he got a walk, a strikeout, walk, strikeout. So he walked the bases loaded. Then a single. So 2 of those walks came. Then we finally take the lead again. Single, walk, infield fly, single to score the hit. So I'm okay with that. A single hit by a pitch. An error to give the bases loaded. Then a walk brings a run in. Then a fly out brings a run in. Then a homer, settled down, and then walked with the bases loaded. A ground out scores a run, and then a single scores 2 more. Then we finally get one across, and then clean inning. We played 5. Then clean inning for Guidry. Clean inning. Then we go single. We get 2 outs, and then a walk-off to end it for Friday night. Then you go to the real ugly one on Saturday.
Don't remind me.
We walked 10.
Yeah, that'll do.
And I'm not going to bore everybody going through with how Vandy scored and our offense was flat, but walks kill you every single time, and then the game on Sunday, we kept the walks to a minimum, but we still had 8. So we had more walks than we've had almost a half the season. Look, we had more walks in 3 games this weekend at 22 than I think our pitching staff last year might have had in the
Yes, I
first
saw.
half of the
Yes,
season.
I saw that. I forgot the exact numbers, but I saw that. I was like, man, going into this
Here we
season,
got the exact numbers from
yeah.
last year. But what were you going to say?
I was going to say real quick. I know this going. That's what I did see that stat. Just going into the season, and I'll get into more when I chime in. But just that was the biggest question, the mound. But yeah, and I'll get
Yeah,
into that a little
okay.
bit.
Over the course of the season, I mean, last season we walked 269, but we also struck out 760. So I'm fine with that, That was last year though. And when I talk about the defense, I mean, in a few seconds I'll get into that because that is the only team Jay Johnson had that has a worse fielding percentage was his first one, but pitching. Okay. Schmidt is leading it right now. He's got 39 strikeouts with 7 walks. Then Cooper Moore, 35 strikeouts, 7 walks. Then Evans with 35 strikeouts, 12 walks. Those 12 walks for Evans, half of them came from last Friday night. But we've walked 93 in the first 20-something games, and that's almost half the total amount of walks we had last season.
Yeah, that's outrageous, man.
And we've struck out 265, which I think is still second in the NCAA, But this is the thing that is killing us. Defense. We are fielding 964. Yeah, 964. We have 25 errors, and if I'm not mistaken, something that should never happen is Cade Arambidi, 2, Omar Cerna, 3. Then let's go to our pitchers. 1, I think that's 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 of the 25 errors have come from our catchers and pitchers.
Yes.
Take that back because Gavin Guidry's got an error too.
Yeah, overthrow on sec. Yep, that's right.
Yep. So
That's it. Yep.
11 of our errors have come from our catchers and pitchers.
And this was being lockstep.
Then 2 more have come from our first baseman, which kills you too. 1 from third baseman. Jake Brown has 2. Seth Dardar has 3. Tanner Reeves has 2. Jack Ruckert has 2. John Pearson has 2. You cannot make that many errors. You have to play clean ball. You can't be fielding 964 and expect to win in this league, especially not when your pitching is walking that many people and your offense is suffering.
That's what makes this stretch so frustrating. This really just like the last couple of weeks altogether. When we talk about the offense, I was encouraged by what I saw in comparison to what they've been looking like the previous week or two, but just obviously still not perfect. Even going back to the Creighton game, King was pulled out after 2 innings with a couple wild pitches. I was pulled after 4 pitches in the top of the second, even though Plog limited the damage in the top of the second. So, like, you've already pulled out multiple pitches in that game against Creighton. And, like, what you had talked about, the game 1 against Vandy, pulled after 4 innings, Evans, 83 pitches after 4. That's not a lot of innings to be with that amount of pitches. We issued 14 free passes. And I was surprised that Jay didn't pull Evans after the 3rd inning. And, listen to Musso, he confirmed that. I'm like, what I'm thinking when I'm watching it, I was kind of shocked by that because you heard me get out the end and just get a fresh body in there.
Yeah. And, just for comparison, okay, this is a team we played tonight, which normally midweek games, I wouldn't even bother pulling up here.
Mm.
But Grambling, team batting average is 286. LSU's team batting average, 288. So we're even.
Yeah.
Okay. Pitching, Grambling's total ERA is 9.19. Let's see. walks. They've walked 133 and they've only struck out 154. Grambling's fielding percentage is 952 and they have 29 errors. So we're almost dead even with the bottom of the pack. I don't even know what conference they play in.
SWAC.
Yeah. Okay. We're almost dead even with the bottom of the barrel SWAC team that is 5-13 and 2-1 in conference play.
And yeah, we're like you said, mirror images of each other. Like, so if you didn't know anything about like the college levels and stuff like that, just the tiers and conferences, you just looking at a blind resume, that's a spitting image of each other.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're looking at this, it doesn't bode well for us because let me pull up the rankings real quick. We play left on the schedule. We've got number 8 this weekend. We have number 6 later on in the season, number 18, number 23, number 22, and number 15. I don't think we play Auburn this year,
Yeah,
but I'm going to
we don't.
double check right now. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
So we
see.
played
We don't play
number
Auburn.
7. Apparently, D1 has Oklahoma number 8. So we play number 8. We play number 15, number 22. Ole Miss isn't ranked. We play 26, no non-ranked. Then we play number 7 and finish up with number 18. Those are all as of current rankings right now. But we have a bunch of ranked teams left. We can turn this thing around and become a top 8 national seed.
Without question.
But just for comparison, I think this is the pitching. Oklahoma's team ERA is in walks. They've got a high number of walks too at 76 and a strikeout of 217,
Yeah.
Their team batting average is 314. So not too much of a difference, but fielding. They're fielding 975 with only 17 errors on the year. That's still a high number. So we're almost evenly matched with them,
Right.
We're still evenly matched. They're the number 8 team in the country. We just have to be better at fundamentals. These next few days of practice and this game tonight, we need clean games. They always do the keys to victory. I'll do the keys to victory for LSU right now for tonight's game.
Yeah.
You need to keep it basic.
Yes.
Play station-to-station ball. Field the ball. Throw the ball. Because we had trouble doing that this weekend where we fielded it, had trouble throwing it.
Yes.
Field the ball, set your feet, throw it. The only one I want to see running and making running throws this weekend is Stephen Milam.
That's right.
And
we'll get to him soon.
He almost had a couple throwing errors this weekend.
Hey.
But we need to slow it down, bring it back. Come on, set our feet. Where's all this talent we heard about at the beginning of the year?
Well, people I listen to Scone in the morning Scone and stuff like that. A lot of people they're not hearing that. They don't want to hear that right now because I know he's still talking about, on paper. I mean, I get the case for sure, but I mean, it comes out to the results. My coworker,
yeah,
he said he's pretty much out on the transfers right now. I personally, I'm not at that point yet personally, but they do have to get it together, like you said. They got to turn the corner.
Personally, I'm okay with starting Caraway tonight. First base, I do believe we need to find a solid backup because I don't know if York is going to turn it around.
Yeah.
He just looked foolish up there this weekend,
Rough. I mean, it's rough go.
Yeah, I would like to see Pearson get a few starts at third base this weekend,
Yeah.
Ruckert, I'd like to see him. I think he's more defensively sound than Dardar at second base.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Catcher, man, I don't know. I was very high on
I was going to get into that.
Cerner last weekend.
Yes. He made both of our polls last weekend. He was like 3 throws, very sound, catching the ball, but he took a massive step back.
He took a step back. Aaron Beatty, I think I was fooled from where I was sitting on opening weekend to make a decision because now that I've seen what he's done and I've seen it up close and watched it on TV, he just doesn't look good. I mean, I don't know if it's the mitt because both of these catches were the number 1 rated catches in Texas in the recruiting class. The number 1 rated Texas catcher. That Texas is a huge place.
Yeah.
You know how many catchers they probably have in Texas for these two to be top of their recruiting class? They have to have been able to catch the ball at least instead of dropping it like they are.
Yeah.
I don't know if the mitt's just not broken in. I saw a TikTok video. You know how those thermoguns that they all have?
Yep.
That's what people are starting to use to break in mitts. I know they got a the
We of
thermogun
all
over there.
places,
They can
I know we of all
massage
places are
gun.
gonna
They
have
could
it.
do that. Yeah. Go to Costco. Costco probably got one.
Come on,
But I
shameless
mean,
plug.
yeah, but I mean, if it's the mitt that's not working for you, use your mitt from high school. You don't have to use every new glove they give you. But I mean, we need to just catch the ball. We need to throw the ball, first of all. And these pitches need to stop trying to be what they're not. They need to break it down, go to a simple thing, simple mindset, and just ignore the batter. Don't ignore the runners on base that get on, but ignore the batter and just focus on the mitt. I know you're not going out there and trying to throw balls and get all these walks. You're not Alabama from 2023 where their coach was actively betting against them and throwing close games. But at some point, you need to take it, look inward, look at your mechanics, and fix what's going wrong. I mean, I know a lot of that might have been you threw on a dirt mound at practice and everywhere you played this year, except for that high school field in Lafayette. I think they had a turf mound too. At least Vandy's turf mound was a
Yeah.
nice turf mound, and it
Yeah.
wasn't just a bunch of turf thrown over a dirt pile like it was in ULL. But still, there's no reason you should be that uncomfortable on a mound.
You know, a lot of people talk about, so and so has all the stuff. He has this collection of stuff, which I commend and applaud. You got to produce though.
Yeah,
So I mean, listen, I don't care what stuff you got. I mean, just put the ball on the plate consistently.
yeah.
Like
You
I
know,
could care
and
less about that personally.
pitching wise, you can have all kind of pitches you throw. The more pitches, the better. I think Skeens is like 6. I'm gonna stop using Skeens as an example because Skeens' arm is just different because he's gonna have a long career, and I think it's because he didn't beat his arm up as a starting pitcher and do extended innings until he got to LSU. Because LSU was his first year where he didn't catch.
Yeah,
He was a catcher at Air
good point.
Force,
Yeah, good point.
but at some point you have to, and as a coach too, because we were concerned with Vandy's popping their bat since they, I think, are only second behind Georgia in home runs.
Yep.
Vandy also moved their fence in a good 20, 40 feet because of construction.
Yeah, Georgia's has a very favorable batter's park too, with like the dimensions. Just I just feel like, but it's a whole nother topic. I just feel like all field dimensions should be identical. But that's a whole
Yeah,
nother topic for another day.
but I do have some pluses this weekend, and it's only few and far between because there's not a lot to be positive about going over there and getting your butt beat
So
on
what you did?
Saturday like you did, and then losing a heartbreaker like you did on Friday night. Chris Stanfield being back
Oh man,
clears up a lot of defensive issues, in my
yeah,
opinion. And he came out and he hit the ball this weekend.
multiple hit games. Yeah,
Yeah. The only game he didn't hit and the rest of the team didn't hit either was on Saturday. Not even Jake Brown hit Saturday.
one of those days.
Yeah. In a game where LSU got lucky. On Sunday, they got lucky. There was 22-mile-an-hour wind gust on Saturday in Nashville, all blowing out. Wasn't blowing in, it was blowing out. So we got lucky. Our offense picked it up but at some point, our offense only had scored 6 runs on 1 hit because Vandy did their best LSU impression. I mean, let's look at I'm pretty sure these top guys on their list for pitching is their starting pitchers for, okay, 1.59 ERA, 41 strikeouts and 8 walks. 28 and a third innings pitched. Cameron Johnson, 34 strikeouts, 12 walks. And then Cord Rager, and I might have butchered that name, 4.71 ERA, struck out 28 and walked 7. You look at our starting pitchers, William Schmidt, 0.92 ERA, walked 7, struck out 39. Cooper Moore, 3.21, walked 7, struck out 35. This is our Friday night guy, too, okay? Kason Evans, 6.45 ERA.
Yes.
35 strikeouts and 12. To me, it makes more sense for them to start Evans tonight on Thursday night. Maybe, well, no, you can't bump up Schmidt because Schmidt might not even pitch this weekend. I don't know what his injury was.
Yeah.
If it was just a sore back, like they say it is, then maybe put him on Saturday and move Cooper Moore to Friday night spot and bump Evans back down to Sunday. Bump everybody up 1 and bump him back 2.
Down the yeah. Yeah.
Because when he looks good, he looks good, but you got to set the tone on a Friday night, and he's just not getting it done.
Right. Yeah, which is disappointing because after his Sac State opener, I thought that he was really turning the corner because he was already, trending upward. But
Yeah, he's got the stuff. It's just, and I mean, I would love to see TrackMan data too, and see how much of that is umpires, small strike zones, or because I think some of his was strikes, but I don't have the TrackMan data, and what it boils down to is you got to throw strikes. I mean, it's kind of hard. Our defense doesn't make it easy on our pitching
not at all.
because they can't trust the guys behind them. They feel like they need to make every out.
Yeah.
If you don't hit it to shortstop, it's not like it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not up. The only Milam is the only automatic thing we have in the infield, really on defense right now,
Yeah.
outside of Stanfield. But I would give Stanfield a pass because he has to work his way back, even though
Yeah,
he's productive over the course of the week.
I'll go ahead and I'll say the only 4 sure things, even though Brown has 2 errors, is Milam, Brown, Curiel, and Stanfield. Those are our only things. And here's a comparison from last year, okay? We have 25 errors on the year right now. In comparison, the championship team last year only had 44.
My goodness, and we only halfway through March, so we got the
Yeah.
rest of March, April, all of May. That's not even including the postseason.
Yeah, and at this point, we better hope we make postseason because
Exactly. But
all
yeah.
right. And here's just because I gave fielding percentages from the other championship team, the 23 championship team, their fielding percentage was .975, and they made 59 errors, and we're half of that. And then in 24, the year that's shaping up to be like this,
Yeah.
as soon as it pulls up. Still, we had, 977 was their fielding percentage that year. We made 51 errors that year, So we need to play clean baseball because on the pace you're going, you are on pace with the 22 team whose fielding percentage was 962, and they made by far the most errors of a Jay Johnson team at LSU.
Yeah, it's not the company you want to be in. I thought 2014 was underwhelming, especially in the first half of the year, but it's just you got to make the routine plays, man. Just anything under like 96, 95 is just not where you need to be. And
I
even
would
like you
say
said,
anything
96, and 96, like even with 96, you're still pushing mediocre because a lot of that
I
stuff
would
is just routine
say
stuff.
I think 96 is our worst fielding percentage ever.
Yeah, so just that again, especially high. I know it's a higher standard, but just a lot of stuff a lot of the mistakes they're making is just routine stuff. That's
It's
what's
like,
frustrating about it.
so, you've got pitchers it blows my mind. Normally, pitching errors come from throwing errors on ground balls hit to them or on fielding the bunt. Our pitching errors have come from failed pickoff moves and throwing the ball away. You limit those, you limit moving runners up, and you're better off, But walks is what gets us into trouble right now. Catching, we can't have that many errors as a catcher. That kills me, I can give our second baseman, our shortstop, our first baseman a couple of errors here and there, our infield a couple of errors here and there on tough plays. But for almost half of our errors, on the year to come from pitchers and catchers. That's unexcusable. 1/5 alone comes from catchers.
Yeah, yeah.
I said we had 25 errors on the season. Yeah, 25 errors so far on this season, and 5 of them are coming from the catchers. That's 1/5 of the total errors are coming from the catching position. That cannot happen.
And the thing is, like, I know, like we talked about previously, Jay favors offensive players in the lineup, which I have no issue with. But my thing is, have to, if even if defense is not your strength, you have to make the routine plays. And what's even
Mhm.
compounded even more is when your offense struggles. That's where you
Yeah.
become.
And like you said, defensive players, putting them in the lineup over offensive players. The problem is at catcher, they're both equally terrible.
Exactly, that's the problem.
There's not one that has a stronger point than the other one at this point. They both have strong arms. They both have looked very good at times, but the only I say I'll give Aaron Beatty a slight edge because he's only got 2 errors and Cerna has 3. But still, that's way too much as a catcher. That should be your season total numbers, not your halfway through
Catcher
March, week 5
for the catcher position alone.
numbers. Yeah. But because I'm tired of talking about the negatives, let's jump into the positives. I'll let you go ahead and give your pitching.
All right. So with the week 5 powerhouse poll, we started with the Creighton game and ended with the 3 games of the Vandy series. Pitching. I know. The goal of the series, the face of this brand. I put a note in the spreadsheet. Justin did not submit anything for pitching because they didn't deserve anything. I say he's a man of his word, and I honor that. But yeah, but I'm gonna let him share his piece on that in a little bit. For me, number one for pitching, I was Zach Cowan. Zach Cowan, Devin Shearer, number 2, and William Schmidt, number 3, and I'll get into it. So, like I said, I put in a notice that pitching overall was awful through the last 4 games. Let me just be very clear. Pitching over as a unit, the mound was terrible. Even before the Vandy series, we gave up 8 runs to Creighton at home before allowing 10-plus runs twice in the Vandy series. Having said that, Cal was just simply the best on the mound throughout the stretch. He threw 5 Ks without allowing any walks or runs. Again, pitching was tough. It was terrible. I can't stress
Yeah.
that enough. But so I just want to take my ranking with a grain of salt for the audience. But Sharon, he was respectable on paper. He combined for 8 strikeouts in his 2 appearances during this stretch against 2 walks out of the bullpen. And I put Schmidt at third because he struck out basically a third of the batters he faced. And I also put like a
Yeah.
phantom ranking. I still put Zach Cowan, Devin Sheeran in the top 2, but I added Garcia because he had at least 7 Ks over the stretch in multiple innings. Whenever a bullpen guy gets multiple appearances and he looks decent, I'll give him some credit. Like, listen, and again, I can't say this enough. Pitching was just an abomination larger this whole weekend. That's what lost you the Vandy series.
Yeah.
Period.
So on the flip side of that, nobody.
Yeah.
None of them. None
That's
of
why
them
that's
deserve
why I
it.
put my fandom. That's why I put the fandom. And I'll make a note of
None of
that.
them. None of them deserved it. Sure, some guys look good, but there wasn't a single guy other than Cowan and Guidry. Well, I think Guidry hit a batter.
And yeah, gave up he was strong in the 8th, like he in his first, like the
He
8th
looked
he was
very
strong.
good in the
Yeah.
8th, but yeah.
But yeah.
No, he just gave up 2 singles and then
The walk off.
the walk-off. But other than him and Cowan, I don't think there is a single game where we didn't have a relief pitcher have at least 1 walk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday, Paul came in for out, and they took him out, so I'm not counting him, but he didn't walk anybody. But, okay, Williams came in on Friday night. He don't count and gave up a walk. Rizzy didn't give up a walk, but I'm pretty sure he walked somebody on Friday night. No, Rizzy. Okay, Rizzy. We had out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 guys. We only had 1, 2, 3 guys that didn't walk a single person when they got in. Can't happen.
It's not gonna win you games. Not at all.
You're not going to win games like that. The numbers in my slot that I will give for those guys, whatever slot Chris Stanfield ends up in my offense and defensive post, he'll get those points from wherever he placed for those pitches so they don't go to waste.
Copy that.
And then I'll go ahead and give my offense.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jake Brown, of course, he looked really good against Creighton. He looked good against Vandy 2 out of 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't knock that guy. He's doing his thing. Then I've got Stanfield, multiple hit weekend, just coming back. Looked really good at the plate. Looked really good on the base path.
So, yeah, I totally agree.
Then I'll give it to Milam at 3. Again, he looks solid. Only edge he's got over Curiel is heads up base path. He's always trying, when we got runners on the corners and Milam's on first, he's always trying to, if he steals or he's going, he's always trying to get into a run down to score that run from third.
Mm-hmm.
He's always looking good.
Yeah.
And I'll let you go ahead and give yours.
Yeah, so for offense, like, Jake Brown, I just put in my notes, enough said. I mean, you just can't say enough about what he's done. Scorched earth, at least 11 homers so far. Just one of the games he was a hit shy of the cycle. I don't know if that was Friday or Sunday, but I forgot which one. But just nonetheless, one hit shy of the cycle, and all the other games that he's produced in the stretch.
It was on
this whole
Friday
season.
night.
Okay, that's what I figured. I know it was one of the games, either Friday or Sunday, but you just can't speak enough highly of him on offense. I have Stephen Milam. He's really been making a lot of hard contact on the ball. Just haven't gotten enough breaks early on, but he's starting to get those breaks now. That's really just been standing himself on the offensive side. And Chris Stanfield, like I said earlier, multiple games with multiple hits, and just in a short time back, he's just such a boost to this team on both sides as a two-way player. It's so big to have him back. Yeah, I just can't say enough about that.
Yeah. And look, defensively,
Mhm.
Milam's going to probably top this poll the rest of the season. So I'm making an audible. I'm going to throw my top defensive guy, Chris Stanfield.
Well, let's shake it up. You the brand, brother.
So I'm going to change this no one on the pitchers so you can put it in your notes as Stanfield 2.
I'll make it as an emotional intangible boost.
Yeah, and the pitchers did so bad, I'm giving Stanfield my top slot for pitching, and I'm giving him the second slot for pitching, just because having him back has been huge.
My gosh, two-way player, two-way super.
Which is why he is my number 1 for defense, because having him back is huge.
Yeah.
And look, this is a huge decision for me because Milam made a really
that double
great
play.
double play. That double play was huge.
That's the falling back, tossed it back. Oh my, that's the play of the year probably right now.
But I will take one away from him because he had that. I would have gave him a throwing error. Right now he's spotless, but he had 2 bad throws. So Milam's my number 2 guy. And then look, I went back and forth on this because if Brown would have dropped that ball that he made that diving catch on,
yeah, that's right,
I'd have wrung his neck. But he made the catch.
Yep.
And I'm putting him in at number 3.
Yeah, I like it
for that.
Yeah,
and then I'll let you go ahead and do your defense.
Yeah, I'm with you. So for defense, I still have Stephen Milam 1, put Chris Stanfield at second place, and Jake Brown rounds out the top 3. Stephen Milam, like we had talked about, just the unbelievable, diving double play, throwing back that was just sublime. And just he's just been flawless defensively. I don't know where we would be as a defense, especially in the infield, without him this year. Chris Stanfield's just an incredible boost. Just like one of the best two-way players on the team. And then Jake Brown just made another diving play, just been steady in the outfield. It was tough leaving Curry off this week's list, but those guys, like the 2 at the top, is just they just been so big on defense. Even like with Chris Stanfield, I know he's a veteran, so he's not new to this. He's true to this, but just coming back from that injury after missing over double-digit games. It's an intangible value thing right there.
Yeah, and not only coming back after missing that double-digit games, but looking comfortable at the plate and looking comfortable in the field. to making those plays, that's a really huge get back for us, and one that I think is going to, when he gets to the point where Jay says, look, we're going to put you at leadoff, I think that'll be a huge spark. But tone setting Tiger of the week.
Oh,
I wrote down on my notes just the pitchers, but I'm going to go pitchers and defense.
okay.
You got to have some clean games. We play 4 games this week. I'm looking for at least 3 spotless games, no errors. I would be greedy and say 4, but no, I'm looking for just 3 clean games, just 3, where we field the ball, get the ball where it needs to go. If it looks like he's going to beat you out at first base and you're playing third, put it in your pocket. I'm just looking for 3 to 4 clean games, no errors. And
Yeah.
pitching wise, I'm looking for single digit walks the whole weekend.
Yeah. I don't think that's unfair to ask that.
I mean, you're at home, you're at home on the mound you used to practice on. Go out there and look good. Let's throw. I really do think what needs to happen is we stick with Evans on Thursday just from a rest standpoint.
Yeah.
Go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and have Cooper Moore on Friday night, William Schmidt on Saturday. Leave those 2 the way they are moving forward, and then bump Evans to Sunday,
Yeah.
I don't think that'll hurt anything. I think that'll make you stronger going forward. If anything, you'll have a Friday night guy. You have 3 Friday night guys, They all 3 have Friday night potential. Schmidt has really impressed me. My biggest thing for him going in was he mentally prepared for these starts? And from what I've seen, he is mentally prepared. He makes a mistake. He gave up those home runs to dead center, and he just shook his head and went right back down to throwing.
Yep, that's right.
We just need to play our game and go forth with that. Kick it over to you. Who's your tone setting Tigers?
So, it's interesting. A tone setting Tiger is the mound, simply put. It's funny, last week's episode, I put everyone because, this was coming off the weekend where, the starting pitching was really carried the team because the offense was such in a bad place and also with the fielding. So but as soon as I say that, the starting pitcher started to take a little step back, and really the bullpen and just large has just been underwhelming. So I just say the mound. Obviously, I'm not, like I said earlier in the show, I'm encouraged by what I've seen with the offense comparison to what they've been the previous week or so. But I'm still not at a place where I'm just super comfortable that they're going to just dominate everybody they play.
Yeah.
And like I said, fielding, they just got to having Milam is just a cheat code. Having Stanfield back is a big boost to this team overall. I just want to see consistency. It's just been a Jekyll Hyde thing. I don't really know what I'm going to see day to day. And that's like, I've never, as long as I've been watching, you watch way more LSU baseball than I have, and I've watched a good bit. But this is the worst stress I've seen them have since I've been a fan and watching. So I don't know what I'm going to see every day. And I haven't really felt that way before about watching my Tigers on the mound, or on the diamond, I should say.
Yeah. What's really encouraging to me is, though, we do have 3 definite starting pitchers.
Yes.
I mean, Kason Evans he's great at times, but he has nights like Friday night. Well, all of our pitchers at some point are going to have a night like that.
Yeah, of course.
But he's looked consistent at the starting position as a starting pitcher. And look, we won a national championship last year with 2 starting pitchers. We just had a Friday and a Saturday guy. We won in 23, really, with just 2 starting pitchers, a Friday and a Saturday guy. The Friday guy didn't even pitch in the championship series.
That's right.
And if he would have, we'd have probably won that game, and we'd have won that series in 2 games.
Yeah.
But, you're going to have your bumps. You're going to get knocked down, but you have enough potential and enough talent on this team. If you can get everybody to come in together, buy in. I think it came out right after we did the episode last week that Zion Theopolis,
Yeah.
I think that's who it was, wrote each player a letter with a little note on what they were good at and put "I believe" or something like that, "believe
Yeah.
it" or something like that at the bottom, and gave it to his teammates. That's the kind of player buy-in you need. That's the kind of attitude
Yes.
you need from every person on the team.
Yeah.
And I think deep down you have that on this team. What I think needs to happen is a level of trust where they can say, these fielders can say, "Oh, that guy at first base, I can throw it to him and he'll catch it." Our pitchers need to have a level of trust in our catchers to say, "I'm going to throw this to him. He's going to catch it and not mess it up." And then our pitchers need to feel also that they can throw a pitch, get the ball put in play, and our fielders will play defense behind them.
That's right.
It's to me, it's solely a level of trust. The trust thing we need to give. Once we get back to playing our brand of ball, I think everything will be fine. We have a unique opportunity
Yes.
to where we can go from preseason number one, number two to unranked to at the end of the season potentially be one or two again. That's just the way our schedule breaks down. We have a tough schedule in the SEC. Like I said, we have number 8 coming in this weekend. We have number 6 at some point in the season
Yeah.
coming up. We have number 15 right after we have number 6 or number 8. We have number 15, then we have number 23 or 20 or 18. Then we have 23. Then we have number 6. We're in a good position. And if they translate and correlate everything we saw on Sunday to how they handle everything going forward, we'll be just fine. But on the flip side of that, if they're not just fine, buckle in because it's going to be a long rest of the season.
Such a realist, brother. You're the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it's coming down. But I won't keep you too much longer. Appreciate you coming back on.
Always a pleasure, man. I love you as my brother. Love our Tigers, man.
Yeah,
It's such a great time. Like I just said, I just want to, my closing thoughts really just, I've been enjoying this, talking, just, really just charting. It's been a very great experience, being on the pod and just really just charting this stuff to really get a better, deeper understanding of how I should see the sport. I just want to see consistency. Like I'm not big on like the stuff like no, I'm not saying I want guys to have the talent because I do. It's important, but it's about the bottom line, especially in a program like this where the championships are the standard. At least playing for one,
yeah,
like the floor should just be Omaha. It should be the floor every year. So just like basically what I'm saying, just like I don't care how you get there, just get there.
yeah, exactly. And, I think what it'll boil down to is I just looking back over my shoulder in this camera and seeing Skip Bertman. It reminded me of something we read in that book and something else that somebody brought up on one of the broadcasts last week. I don't think at this moment in time, I think what Jay is looking for is his 9 best and not his best 9.
Yeah,
And I think once he finds that, those 9 best players that fit together and play well together, once he finds that, I think we'll be just fine.
yeah, for sure.
And at this moment, I don't think he's found that combo yet. But when he does, we'll be great. But, as always, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's grow this thing big and let's cheer these Tigers to victory.
That's right. That's the formula.
Yep. Well, that'll do it from us. Y'all have a great night, great week, great day, whatever you have, just make it a good one. Yep. Bye.